Hey guys, welcome to It's My Turn, the podcast where we dive deep into the stories of overcoming, empowerment, and finding your voice. I'm your host, Baby Doll Martin, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're on your journey to sobriety, rediscovering your purpose, or simply seeking inspiration to live your best life, this is the place for you. Each week, we'll explore real-life experiences, practical tips, and heart-to-heart conversations that remind you it's your turn to take charge. It's your turn to be alive and thrive. Let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to It's My Turn podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today because if you are listening to this, then you have already made the decision to get sober from something, whether it's alcohol or pills or weed or meth or shopping or sex addiction, gambling addiction, all the aholics. I'm so glad that you're listening today because I want to give you the next steps. What do we do now? So we've made the decision to get sober. Now what do we do? Okay, I'm always going to recommend that you go to a treatment center. And I know that you hear that and you're like, ugh, like who wants to do that? It sounds like I'm going to be in jail. No, I want you to picture it like this. Like if you have the money and if you have insurance, you find a way to get yourself into a treatment center. Find a good one, ask around. If you can find one that is a Christian treatment center, biblically based, I recommend that even more. You need to find one that has a medical staff. You don't want to just go off willy-nilly and cold turkey anything because you can have seizures, you can have car accidents, you can have panic attacks, you can have heart attacks. Don't do it alone. The first thing is find a treatment center, but don't think of it like, I got to go to this place. People are going to, they're going to judge me. Don't look at it that way. Look at it like this. You're going somewhere to a very special room at a very special place in time to spend time with Jesus to heal and recover and let go of all that mess. If I didn't go to a treatment center, I wouldn't have been able to get away from everything because you know what? Your family might be part of your problem. Your spouse might be, your kids might be, your workplace might be. You need to disconnect from everything. And you can't drink or use. You can't do anything for 30 days or 2 months or 3 months or even a year. I would recommend going to the longest one you can find because this is your time. It's your turn. It's your turn to deal with you and get free and get healed from all the things in your life that have been dragging you down. It could be childhood things. It could be some sort of trauma or some sort of tragedy that recently happened. It could be grief over the loss of a parent or from divorce or loss of a child. So we've got to get you to a place where you don't use or drink for 30 days. So then at least 30 days or 2 months or 3 months or longer is even better, like I said, but so we can start to unpack the luggage and the baggage that got you there because the drinking and the using or the addiction of whatever it is, gambling is on top of this bundle of yarn underneath that's just been spinning and getting raveled up because we keep shoving those things under the carpet because for whatever reason in America, we don't want to talk about our things. We just want to look pretty, go to church, show up on Sunday, go back to work on Monday, act like everything is fine, talk like everything is fine, and you're not. In treatment centers, I want to change the stigma about recovery, about healing, and about it's your turn to take care of you. If you're a mom, you're doing everything for your husband or your kids, and you're forgetting about yourself, like that tomato, like moms are a tomato, and there's all these straws sticking out of it, draining it. Now the time has come for you to take care of you. So I want you to go to a treatment center. I want you to find a way, make a way, do whatever you have to. That's my first recommendation. The second one is tell your doctor, because getting out of the denial is actually refreshing, and it's a sense of freedom. The truth will set you free. It says that in the Bible, the truth will set you free. So number one is admitting that we have a problem. It doesn't matter if you're looking at AA or NA or Celebrate Recovery or anything, but we want to get out of that denial state. And the more people that we tell, the more people are going to hold us accountable so that you can get healed and stay healed. And so don't be embarrassed and don't feel terrified and afraid to say, hey, I need help. And if you feel that way and you feel like you can't talk to your family or your friends, I want you to message me, because I'm going to help you deal with the reality of the denial and the fact that if you're reaching out to me, then you do want to get healed. So like I was saying in the first step message, in the very beginning, when you decide that instead of you're going to drink for no matter what, or you're going to use no matter what, you're going to switch it to I'm not going to drink and I'm not going to use no matter what. It's just adjusting just slightly. And so we've got to get out of the denial. So you got to talk to your doctor, because we have to get you medically okay. And so we've got to deal with what is it that you're taking that you need to be taking and that you shouldn't be taking. So you got to go to a treatment center with a medical staff. Tell your doctor is number 2. Number 3, you got to find a community of people that are sober. So whether it's AA or NA or Celebrate Recovery, or maybe your church has freedom groups, or there's all kinds of groups. So get in one and stay committed to do it, because you're not going to you don't want to tell somebody you have a problem. I know that. But you're going to feel better when you do. And when okay, for example, my sister and I, we have moments of being close, and then we have this rivalry thing, okay? Because there was 2 girls. She was in sports, and so she's super competitive, and I was in dance and always in the paper and stuff. So there's this natural competitiveness that we had. But I had to lower my guard, and I made a phone call to my sister, and I said, I need help. I need help, and I'm about to leave this abusive marriage, and I can't do it without you. I need my family, or I'm about to go to a treatment center, and I need support. So when you get them on board with helping you, it changes the dynamic. Even if you have a situation where it's super competitive, or even some of your closest friends, you might have that kind of competitive nature. But when you let your guard down and get humble and say, look, I'm about to go through this process and I need your help, I need your support, those people will now rally around you and they will pray for you. And there are so many people that actually want to help you. And let me tell you something. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, especially those 2, but even if it's the rest of them, let me in on this. Let me tell you. I'm going to let you in on this little secret. They already know. They already know. They know, they see it. You may think you're hiding it, and you may think you're doing it well. You're not. They already know. They already know. So gather people around you and ask them to pray for you and to support you. And the last one is you got to get a coach or therapy or counseling. So it's up to you which one of those you want to do, okay? It's totally up to you. But here's the deal. You are entering into a new season, and you've got to have a process in order to have progress. So it's going to take all of these things. So we live in a culture where it's I can drive through Whataburger, I can grab a cheeseburger and some fries and a giant Diet Dr. Pepper and be on the road, keep going throughout my day. I can call DoorDash and have something here in 20 minutes. I can call Amazon and get something here by the end of the day. But we can't do that with sobriety. We can get some candles here. We can get some lights here. We can get all kinds of things here. Bones for my dog. I do that all the time. And wouldn't it be nice if we could just call Amazon or DoorDash and have something here. I would like to order some Sobriety, please. And you also are going to feel that way when it's your spouse or your child or your sister or your parent that needs to go to a treatment center. You want them to just take something and be okay. You want them to just go to therapy and be okay next week. You want them to drive through Whataburger, order up some Sobriety, and now they're going to be okay. Let me tell you something, family and friends. You are not equipped to help them. And they are not going to be equipped to deal with you and handle you for some time. Like, it's going to be 6 to 8 months to 9 months down the road before their personality is adapted to sobriety. So you can't expect them to, like, now they're going to start talking to me nicer. Now they're going to start calling me on my birthday. Now they're going to do this or do that or whatever it is that. Would you do them a favor? Would you consider putting down drinking or smoking or giving up sugar? Or would you join them in their plan for their recovery? And would you also give something up? Because alcoholism, for example, is a progressive disease, and it's a slippery slope. And now they need to be in environments with no alcohol, with no drugs, with no using of any sort. So would you consider doing that for your husband, for your spouse, for your wife, for your child? It gets under my skin like nothing in this world when someone comes to me and says, oh, my husband's an alcoholic. Oh, my daughter's an alcoholic. Oh, my so-and-so. Okay, how's your drinking? How's your using? What are you struggling with? Because we're all struggling with something. Are you willing to put something down in a way of honoring their sobriety? In a way of now praying for yourself as you pray for them? I had a situation where one of my children was struggling with weed. It was a few years ago. And I gave up Diet Dr. Pepper for 30 days. And I talked with them every day. And that's what I did. I was walking around the park in prayer, just like I did for my own sobriety, but I was doing it for their sobriety. So what are you willing to do for your family member, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your kids, your spouse? So don't come to me complaining about anybody about their sobriety. I want you to look in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror at yourself, it becomes easier for them to look in the mirror for themselves. So if you are feeling like an enabler, if you are the sister, the brother, the spouse, the friend, would you please consider doing that? And would you please consider Al-Anon? Would you please consider getting some counseling or some therapy or a coach for you? Because I can promise you that up here we have this problem that we need to deal with, right? So we got to remove the immediate necessity, the urgency of the sex addiction, gambling, alcohol, the drugs, whatever that thing is. But now we got to deal with this ball of yarn. And I can promise you, it started when y'all were kids. In your family, in his family, in their family, in all the families. We all have it. This ball of yarn where it's just wrapped up a bunch of stuff because for whatever reason in America, we don't want to talk about our stuff. The funk and the junk and the stuff that's in all the bags that we're dragging around from house to house, going through our life. And now we're expecting this new person that we married for them to be perfect. And we're not perfect. And this same ball of yarn, they have one too. And we all got to get sober from something so we can get to that ball of yarn and start to put things away and sort them away and start to heal and recover. So then when we remove the immediate urgent problem, now we can deal with the real issues. And all those issues always come down to a couple of things. There is some forgiveness that we need to give to someone, and we don't want to do it. We don't want to forgive them. Or we can't forgive ourselves. Or we've got this shame and guilt for things that we've done. And it always comes down to basically that. But that sounds simple, but it's not easy at all. So I recommend, number 1, a treatment center with a medical staff. Number 2, I recommend you let your doctor know. Don't be embarrassed. They are there to help you. And if they're not very helpful, go find a new doctor. One that's going to be supportive and encouraging and helpful. Find a community of sober people. I want to recommend AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, groups at your church. Create your own. Find a group of friends that they're tired of being sick and tired in the morning when they wake up with a hangover, if they still have them. Because listen, if you have been drinking for a while, even though it's like only on the weekends and you don't have hangovers anymore, guess what? You're addicted to alcohol. So if you're tired of feeling sick in the morning and you just want to get rid of it, get a coach, get a therapist. That's number 4. And don't look at your recovery and your healing like Whataburger, Amazon, and DoorDash. You're not going to call a number, put your credit card in, and order up some Sobriety, and everything's just going to be okay. It's going to take time. So if you're part of a family, that you have someone in your life that is trying to get recovered and trying to heal, please help them. Because another thing I read about this morning, another thing that we do is we get addicted to reasoning. And we get addicted to logic, theology, philosophy, and understanding. But guess what? Alcoholism, gambling addiction, sex addiction, all of the addictions, they're not logical. They don't make any sense. And so you can't put logic into a situation where there's no logic. It doesn't make sense to you that they keep drinking because they have a problem. Of course it doesn't make any sense. Just like all of the people that are in jail for being high, like 60% of the people that get arrested, it's because they were on something or they were drunk and they were out of their ever-loving mind and they have no idea what they did. They wake up in jail. And then we're trying to deal with all these people in jail that have addiction. All of them, most of them, 50 to 60%. So I looked this up the other day. 1 in 6 people are drinkers. 50% of the world are users. And 25% of those people have a problem. But here's the good news. 75% of the people who want to recover get recovered. Isn't that great news? So if you know you have a problem and you've already made the decision that you want to get help, this is what you do. These are the 4 steps. And you also can follow me on babydollmartin.com. You also can follow me on social media, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that you have a great recovery experience. I want you to know that I'm praying for you every day. I pray, God, this is what I pray. Father God, bring to me those that are assigned for me to help and equip me to help them. So in your darkest hour, that you would turn to God and know that He is with you, that He is for you, so who could be against you? That He is on your side, so whom shall you fear? Thank you, God, for helping us to recover. And we just thank you for making a way, because He will make a way in Jesus' name. And I love you, and you are blessed. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of It's My Turn. I hope you found something here that inspired and empowered you to take the next step in your journey. Remember, no matter where you are or what you've been through, it's never too late to take your turn and step into the life you were created to live. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget, I'd love to hear your stories and continue the conversation. Until next time, keep going and sober up!